A delightful video game delicacy with your good friend me here on the second channel, presuming, of course, I can remember the login info. Hello. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got a bit more free time now. I haven't got a bit more free time at all, but all the important stuff that I had to do in life, like find somewhere to live, pretty much solved. I built a lot of furniture over the last few days, so my schedule is starting to clear up a bit, and I thought, hey, let's come back to the second channel. Now, Binding of Isaac, irrelevant, okay? You can ignore that. If you don't like Isaac, I know it's a divisive game. Ignore it. It doesn't matter. It's just there to be a framing device for a good time. A good time for us both. So, what I was thinking, right, is I kind of miss just doing, like, weird variety stuff. And here's how I'm going to approach this channel. It's very philosophical, so I hope you're paying attention. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if this channel... you know, if it gets views, I don't care about if it gets demonetized. I just do not mind. I don't even know if I can log in anymore. If I remember the login info, that'll be one problem dealt with. But I thought, hey, let's maybe just like every day, I just load up a different game and we throw it on in the background and we see what happens. And if we find a game we like, we can stick with it. We can just keep playing it. If it's a game that's poo-pooey, like maybe this game is, we ignore it, we move on with our lives. How about that for an idea? And I just wanted an excuse to play some games, maybe old games, new games, probably, let's be honest, old games, given that this channel has set a precedent, but nothing I've done before on this channel is gonna infer what the rest of the channel will be. This is just me sitting around playing a game, and I hope you would join me for maybe a little bit of a chat. You know, maybe we can talk about some stuff that's happening. If you got anything to talk about, throw it in the comments, and maybe I'll bring it up next episode and laugh at you, or cry, or we'll fist pump the air. Now, I should clarify, ignore Isaac, to again go back to that one, because I haven't played Isaac in 4 years. I don't know, whenever the last DLC came out. I played it for a little bit on the second channel, main channel, whatever, I don't know where it was, and that was it. But yeah, no, I thought maybe we could have a look at, dare I say it, Noita, which, by the way, is finished for Witch. We could go back to Noita, and I really have had a hankering recently to play SimCity 2000, the best SimCity game. Might go and have a look at a little bit Daggerfall. You kids like Daggerfall. You old retirees like Daggerfall, right? There's a lot to do, and there's a lot I want to do. And there's a lot that I can't do with the main channel, because people have a precedent set there. Oh, Rim. Oh, edited Rim every single day at the same time. Maybe I want to do something other than Rim. I mean, I'm still going to do Rim, don't get me wrong. I find the game fun. I just find the people... Diplomacy, hold on. I'm trying to be careful with my phrasing. I find them enthusiastic to a level that I am possibly not, which is not to say I'm not enthusiastic. I am to say that they are on a whole other level that I couldn't possibly begin to entertain. And I mean that entertain metaphorically, not literally, because I do entertain them every single day, or most days, game permitting, of course. So yeah, I thought I'd play a little Isaac, and the only reason I thought I'd play a little Isaac is because somebody in the Discord was like, hey, yeah, that's what we need. Somebody in the Discord said, hey, have any of you played Isaac? It looks disgusting. And I was like, well, I haven't played that game in a while. To clarify, I'm not going to talk about Isaac. To clarify, I used to do a lot of Isaac. I've got like 3,000 hours in this game or something ridiculous like that. So it used to be my kind of go-to game, just kind of casually, over the last 10 years or whatever, decade. Yeah, sure. But then I stopped playing it because I thought that the problem, as we have with a lot of games in 2023, they added too much DLC, and it had such a pure experience before, where it's like an arcade game. You open it, it's like Tetris. You open up Tetris, you know what you're getting with Tetris, right? You open up Isaac, you know what you're getting with Isaac, but there's so much shit in it now that... I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm getting with Isaac. I'm sure if I spent 300 hours again playing it, learning everything, then I get it. But I don't have that kind of time, and I'm not really that interested in filling my brain with Isaac crap anymore. We've moved on, I think, as a society. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I want to fill my brain with Noita crap either. That game was, frustrating. I'm not really sure what is on my to-play list. Like, I do want to play Red Dead at some point, right? Not just for Rim series research. But because it's apparently, like, you know, one of those masterpiece games that everybody has to play. But then I'm like, when the hell am I going to play it? That's quite a long experience, if I'm not mistaken. We could play it on here. We could do the whole thing start to finish. But I think that That's a big investment. That's a big investment. Hey, that's a lot of time I got to spend on that. Yeah, I'll take that. Sure thing. And it's a commitment I don't really want to make, because this channel is, again, just for me to be, like, somewhat, not to use this term too lightly, somewhat ADHD about games. Where I can be like, oh, I feel like playing this today. You know, because I'm pretty much tethered down on the main channel to a particular expectation. Oh, I want that from the second channel. Like, Donkey's got the right idea. You want to play Hideo Kojima's very famous game, Death Stranding? You can do that. You can Death Strand. Maybe I want to play Kirby Air Ride, which I do, by the way. I do want to play Kirby Air Ride. There's a lot of GameCube games I've been thinking about recently, because I've been unpacking all my kind of retro crap from where we moved house and putting that on like a nice shelf to put it on display. I got a Dreamcast up there. I got a GameCube and a PS2, which isn't so retro, I suppose. Well, I suppose these days it is. But then I was like, man, I remember the GameCube so fondly. But I bet in 2023, let's be realistic here, how many of those games were absolute stinkies? I mean, how many of them have just aged so poorly that they're borderline unplayable? And like Kirby Air Ride, I remember with such fondness. I bet it's absolute shit if I were to go back and play it today. So that's what I want to do. Maybe this is research. Maybe this is me inadvertently destroying everything I held dear. You know what? I want to go back and play Game Boy Camera. I need therapy afterwards. There was a Twitter thread, which was pretty good if you still are able to stomach Twitter. I'm not, which is why I use a browser extension to block everything but the people I follow. But if you're able to stomach Twitter, I'd go and have a look at my Twitter, because I quote tweeted the Game Boy Camera one. There's a really cool thread that somebody spent clearly a lot of time putting together about like weird horror shit that was in games. Like a lot of like subversive horror shit. And I don't mean subversive in the 2023, oh, she was dead all along type trope. Well, I suppose that was a bit more Sixth Sense. But you know what I mean. You know, like Game of Thrones subverting expectations. Just doing it for the hell of it. But these were like weird shit that the developers had hidden in. I think there was like a Sonic sound test. And it displayed this really creepy image of Sonic tiled in the background. And then like in Japanese, it'd say that it's always fun with Sega Entertainment, and this creepy ass music was playing in the background. And the level designer for Sonic just randomly threw that in. It's a really cool thread if you're into weird shit like that. Game Boy Camera is my Achilles heel. I feel like that might genuinely give me flashbacks if I were to go back to that. I don't even know if you could emulate Game Boy Camera for what I hope is fairly obvious reasons. This could be legendary with this setup. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. 4.6 damage. It'll do. Whatever. But yeah, that game was fucking weird. If you've never played it before, it was just a camera that you plugged into your Game Boy, and it would take the world's shittest images. Genuinely like 16 by 16 or 32 by 32 like dot matrix style images. But the problem is, if you took a picture and the Game Boy Camera's memory was full, it would display a picture of a weird, distorted Japanese man's face wearing, like, weird fucking makeup. I'm literally sat here getting goosebumps even thinking about this. Oh, it's creeping me out. It'd be a weird, distorted Japanese man's face where they've, like, deep-fried it. They've, like, pinched his cheeks in to make him look all gaunt and weird, and he's wearing, like, makeup, and one of his eyes is crossed out. And then it will say above it, in plain text English, "What are you running from?" That actually sent full-on shivers down my spine, and it's so fucked up, because bearing in mind, I was like 6 when I got the Game Boy Camera, and I was happily taking pictures of my dog, and then one day, that shit happens, and it plays a really creepy bit of music too. It's like, diddle-a-doo, and that pops up, and I thought it was the end of the world. Even me sat here as an adult still think that shit is the end of the world, to be honest with you. I'm freaking out, by the way. That's like still, fucking hell. It's like 1 a.m. as I'm recording this too. I'm not gonna sleep. That's genuinely so. That's like a primordial fear, you know. Deep down, I think we all remember our first true fear, and that was it. That was it for me. I shouldn't even talk about it because it's just like making my skin crawl. It's weird. Go look it up. You don't think I'm not over-exaggerating. Go look up, like, Game Boy Camera weird faces. Tell me that's an appropriate thing to put in a fucking kid's camera game. Nintendo were absolutely off their fucking rocker back in late 90s, early 2000s with, like, creepy shit. What the hell was that game? Was it Eternal Darkness? That might have been in that thread. Or it's like a GameCube game where, like, weird shit would happen, right, as you were playing it. It was supposed to be kind of creepy, I suppose. I don't know if it was horror, so to speak, not like Silent Hill. But as you were playing it, like, the volume bar on your TV would pop up and look as if it was turning itself down. Obviously, it was the same for every TV. It wasn't actually turning your TV down. It was like an animation of kind of that happening. And then you, of course, would be like, oh, my TV's turning down. I'm going to turn it back up. And then they'd do, like, a spook. Fuckers. They were just absolute fuckers, the lot of them. Oh, Krampus. Nintendo just lost their fucking mind back then. This was just a bit more acceptable to traumatize children. You wouldn't get it past game censors now. But the thing is, I say that, but I also around the same time had like Mortal Kombat on the Sega. And that didn't bother me at all. Some of the fatalities, I will admit, I remember creeping me out a tad bit. But they were horrifying. Lots of pearl-clutching mothers going on Fox News. Oh, my little Timmy watched Katana rip out Johnny Cage's asshole. I mean, if they were being traumatized by it, of course, young children were. But that didn't really bother me. It's all the weird, creepy shit. Something about, like, I think, like, a big fear for me is technology going wrong, you know? I guess it was because I had a lot of tech growing up. It was like an obsession. I used to love just, like, fucking around with, like, weird, like MS-DOS when I was a kid. No idea what it did, of course. In, like, Windows 95 or whatever. But then when shit would go wrong, it's kind of scary when you get a big spooky blue screen saying, hey, like, you fucked up, moron. That's a spooky time. So anyway, Cash Cow sent me there's a Steam key for, like, furry sex on Steam. So obviously that will have to play on this channel. If I have to censor that, you know, whatever, I'm alright with that. Oh, I should have left that on the floor. I'm alright with that. That's fine. Basically, as long as it's fun, that's what we're going to do here. We're just here to have a fun time. Sorry to pivot the conversation so drastically. From your deepest, darkest, most primordial fears to... Well, I mean, the conversation, I guess, didn't really change that much, did it, in hindsight? If you've got any game suggestions, by the way, things I've maybe missed that I should play, I swear to God, if Feldo comes out of the woodwork and says, Arcanum, you're going to play Arcanum. Feldo. That is a deep RPG that's very difficult to present to an audience. I'm going to be honest with you. That's going to be hard. That's going to be a hard sell. Like, it's a game I'd be happy to play in my own time. I'm not sure I would know how to show that to people in real life. Not in real life. You know what I mean, though, right? To present that to people seems very, very hard. Hello, I really want those coins, but they are under that card. Well, guess that's tomorrow's problem. Let's go back and get their battery. Oh, I had a big list of shit that I wanted to go and have a look at. Okay, so let's forget it for a while. We'll come back to it when I remember it. Elise and Sam channel. Temporarily on pause. I should probably mention, right? Well, not only did we move house, bought a house, massive pain in the ass process that was. Tried to buy like 3 houses and like 2 of them were fucking shitholes when we actually got like a professional survey done, because homeowners like to lie about the state of their home and then just let other people live there and have it be a total fucking dump. And it's all like, you know, 60, 70-year-olds who bought it 40 years ago for £3 and a Kit Kat. And then I've got to be on a mortgage for the next 60 years of my life. Is that a double tinted rock? Is that what the kids call those? I had like a weird thing on it. I didn't know what that was. Oh, that one does too if I'd have opened my eyes. Like, oh yeah, this house is absolutely fine. And then you like lean up against the wall and go through it. And on the other side is a portal to black mold hell. That's some fun stories we've got to tell on the Elise and Sam channel at some point. But anyway, on top of like that and like, you know, buying furniture, because we lived in a rented place that was furnished, even though it wasn't supposed to be, so we didn't have any furniture, so that's been fun. I'm sleeping on a mattress on the floor, by the way. Please don't tell anyone how I live. Ooh, that's what I was hoping for. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about Isaac, but I was hoping we would get this deal with the Devil's Worker to roll Krampus' head into... whatever, fine. It's pretty good right now. So anyway, on top of everything else, we got a puppy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want to get a puppy so soon. We were always going to get one. And Elise also said, like, maybe we got the puppy a little too soon. And I totally, absolutely agree, right? 100% agree. But neither of us drive. And it just so happened that, like, this was a good, reliable breeder. Which is a different context in 2023, you know. Selling, like, a hypoallergenic dog. A Labradoodle, specifically. And I'm allergic to dogs, which I didn't realize until I moved out of my parents. And suddenly I could breathe through my nose for the first time in my life. And anyway, she lived, like, literally, like, 2 minutes walk away. And I was like, well, we've been here a month. We've more or less got everything sorted. Like, there's still, all, like, the paperwork and the important shit was done. Like, we dealt with the old house and everything was, like, livable. But it was just, like, borderline livable. Like, we still need to buy, like, a decent bed and blah, 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 blah. Do you want a little haunt? Yeah, fuck it, go on. So anyway, we got a puppy. She's settled in now. She's like, I live in her best life. Puppy I'm talking about, not a lease. But it does throw a spanner in the works because you think you're prepared and you're absolutely not. I mean, I've had many, many dogs before. My favorite part about having a puppy. Oh, also, I should do my regular spiel. You know, I've had, because people on the internet are pearl clutchers, to go back to the Fox News mother. They're pearl clutchers, right? And they always know better than you, despite the fact that you normally have very legitimate reasons for your actions. Really sensible people do. I've had shelter dogs my entire life. As always, I would beseech you, please get a dog from a shelter. I've again, only had shelter dogs. And they are just as good, if not better, than regular dogs. Because they have a love in their heart. Because they know what it's like to not have love in their heart. Non-shelter dogs are spoiled. Honestly, I'm tempted to lock this puppy in the shed for a week just to humble it. That's a joke. That's clearly a joke, okay? But again, yeah, me being hypoallergenic, you're not exactly going to go to a... You're not exactly going to go to a dog shelter and find, I don't know, Portuguese water dog or whatever. Whatever other hyperallergenic breeds there are. We did look. We were looking for ages. Moo ha 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 ha. Well, that's good. Don't know what that means. There's a Game Boy camera moment. So anyway, yes, please do get shelter dogs. But it was a perfect opportunity, so I was like, alright, go on then. Why not? What's that popping up all the time? I don't quite understand what's happening. I'm not qualified. I think the hands come down from the roof, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Creepypasta moment. This game's one big creepypasta, so it's not that difficult. Ooh. So we got this puppy. And you think you're prepared, but you're really not. But my favorite part has very much been people telling me how to look after a puppy, as if A, I haven't looked after multiple dogs of multiple different breeds, and B, as if we didn't do even a fucking modicum of research. People saying, you need to brush your dog. Like, yeah, no shit. Funnily enough, I went on Google and typed in Labradoodle before I bought a fucking Labradoodle. Labradoodle, just in case you're curious, is a Labrador crossed with a poodle. So it's a mutt. You know, it's not like a fucking pedigree or whatever. But because it's hypoallergenic, because it's got curly fur, it doesn't make me sneeze. Which is really helpful, actually, because I like I like being able to breathe. I haven't needed to use an inhaler either since I moved out of my parents. Like, I had asthma really bad as a child, and then I moved out, and, like, I've used it maybe, like, twice in the last few years, and one of those times was because I had COVID. So I think that's a reasonable reason. So make sure you look after your dog. Make sure you brush your dog. I know people mean well. That's why I don't like... You know, when people say that in Discord, I wasn't like, yeah, no shit, you fucking idiot. I'll say it here, happily, because, like, this is what this channel's for now. It's for me to betray any sort of goodwill I've built up and destroy my brand. Sometimes just people say the most obvious shit, and it drives me nuts. Someone today. Oh, your dog will love water. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. I'm fundamentally aware. I mean, obviously, it's not true that just because it is of a particular breed that likes water, that it'll inherently like water. You know what else it likes? Fucking oxygen. No one's told me that one yet. Oh, shit. That's silly, man. I put a bag over the dog's head. Forgot to let it breathe. Why didn't anyone on Discord tell me? So again, I shouldn't be bitter. I know people mean well. It's just when you get people meaning well 24/7. It's very sad. Don't let your new puppy go outside and get the parva virus. Oh, well, that's this afternoon's plans for him then, isn't it? What am I shooting here? Oh, there's some little fella. Little baby man. I appreciate the advice. I appreciate the advice. I'll just silently seethe. By the way, if you're watching this and you think, oh, I told him to do that, I'm not talking about you. It's a close one. Good save. Ah, you prick. Yeah, I wasn't talking about you, don't worry. I was talking about someone else entirely. Even if it's literally exactly the thing you've said, just don't worry about it. Definitely. It's just me. It's just me being curmudgeonly. You get it. If you've had a puppy, you'd get it. A lot of work. We have been... oh, fuck. Sorry. Again, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be in, like, full-on rant mode. Make sure you train your puppy. Fucking hell, man. It's like Caesar Milan himself is in my Discord. Good God. Yes. Obviously, we're training her. She's very smart. I didn't actually know this until the other day. Again, after doing research. Commonly considered the second smartest dog breed in the world behind collies is poodles, which this dog is like 75% or something like that. I don't know. Whatever makes her not make me sneeze. Which is good. It's like a good thing that she's so intelligent because my God, she's learning tricks fucking fast. Sit, paw, stay, leave, wait, lie down, etc., etc. She absolutely nailed it within the first couple of weeks. She's only been here 2 weeks, and she knows, like, more tricks than I know. And I've been around for much more than 2 weeks, allegedly. This is about time to say this entire channel is AI. I've just fed all of my videos into ChatGPT, and this is all generated by that. That's why I've started re-uploading again. I was working on the algorithm. It's a good time. Good time. I forgot how long this game went on for. I didn't really want to be playing for like 4 hours, but here we are. Here we are. Oh, wait. I picked up something called Mum's Bangle. I didn't know what it did. And now we've got like moo-hoo, ha-ha-ha all the time. Is that something to do with that, maybe? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It's like a full-time job. Because, like, young puppies as well, you're not really supposed to leave on their own for too long. We don't. She's, like, basically got someone with her all day, every day, and then we're going to slowly start to get some separation training going. She is booked in for classes before we get somebody waxing lyrical in the comments. She's booked in for socialization classes and puppy classes and grooming and everything. Okay? Good dog owner. Don't panic. Lots of common sense. I think that's the thing that annoys me the most. People think you just haven't got the most basic of common sense. Fuck. So, we set up this, like, thing called Throne, right? And I'm going to be real with you. I set up this, so this platform called Throne, right? Where your fans can send you gifts. I think it's meant for, like, OnlyFans models and stuff like that. So, dirty men on the internet can send them, like, you know, Doc Johnson's Great American Challenge. Or, you know, like a Moby Huge or whatever. Both of which I own IRL. I was going to say, did that, like, drop my stats then? Anyway, I set it up to camp the page. Just to be like, I'm going to grab at Mr. Samuel Streamer so no one else, you know, potentially grabs it. Because, I mean, how many people have tried to sign up with, you know, throne.com/PewDiePie. Hi, I'm PewDiePie and buy me gifts or whatever. And I know I'm, like, a nobody in internet terms. But I just wanted to be careful. Like, I didn't want people to get scammed. But then people can also suggest shit to you. So people were, like, suggesting shit to me. Oh! I thought that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I just lost my damn dice. That's okay. Whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. I like the flies. I like the flies. So anyway, you can kind of tell what happened. People started suggesting, like, nonsense gifts. And here's the thing. You can also hide the gifts so people can send crazy shit. So I've got a load of stuff. I've disabled people, like, sending meme stuff at this point. Because I was like, okay, I've got enough to make a video about this. At least let me make a video before you send more shit. Because I don't want people to just be, like, sending stuff for a laugh. I don't want to, like, rip anyone off. I know I'm not ripping anybody off because they... You know, they're, like, sat there typing in the credit card info. It's not me saying to do it, but simultaneously... Now that is what I was after. I want people to feel like they're getting something out of it, and that's going to be content. Anyway, Toastina ages ago sent, like, a bag of dog food. And this was as I was planning to get a dog. I promise I didn't just get a dog because somebody on some website sent me a bag of dog food. That would be irresponsible, okay? That would be very irresponsible. Don't just buy a dog because you've got dog food. Maybe that's very responsible. You know, because you're like, you don't want to waste it. You got to think about the environment. Planet's about to melt. So anyway, I've got a cupboard full of stuff I've got to record one day. As soon as I'm, like, done with the last of the house stuff. Got, like, build a bed. I'd like a bed first. And then we'll talk about me showing the lovely things people sent to this, you know, pseudo P.O. box. P.O. box proxy. Including lovely pants with Japanese girls' faces on it. Looking forward to that one. I'm not modeling them. I need to make that abundantly clear. If anybody sent anything on that with the intention that I would, like, wear Ahigo, I think is how you say it, pants, it's never going to happen. You have been banned. I have ripped you off, but I never promised that. So I'm like, sorry if you thought that was the case, but you should have known better. Somebody also sent me a medium Asian size, like, bunny girl outfit. I've got to tell you right now, I'm 6'2", and like 200 pounds. You don't really... I don't think, like, an Asian medium was intended for that size. So I'll put it on the dog. No, I'm not going to put it on the dog because there's weirdos on the internet. I'm not going to do that. Even just as a silly joke, I'm not doing that. That would be borderline animal abuse. No, not even borderline. Just like animal abuse, actually. Sorry, I've got to pay a little more attention to Isaac because I was like, I'm going to play this game. I haven't played it in about 4 years, so I'm probably going to lose. And we're not that far off of winning, even though I've made just, like, some of the most horrible decisions ever. So this is now... I'm somewhat invested in this meme run. So, yeah. Thank you for all the things. I promise one day we'll get around to doing something with it. Just checking I'd actually shut my window. Because we've got neighbors in this new place that, like, I actually care about the opinion of. Well, I don't, like, really care about their opinion. I've never met them. Just, like, said hello in passing. Simultaneously, they're, like, actual people. I mean, the people in the last place were actual people, but they were also actual people who used to get the police called on their house at, like, 2 a.m. every other night to kick in the front door, and it used to wake me up. The red and blue flashing lights through my fucking bedroom window at all hours of the night. Because they would get raided constantly. Because the guy who lived there was a fucking scumbag. Don't go into details. It's very depressing. I just heard things rattling through the wall that you really don't want to hear. Ooh. Nah, you're good. Thank you. So anyway, that's good. It was a good time. So now, like, I don't want to be... You know, I know what it's like to be woken up at 2 a.m. or whatever by someone being too loud. I'm well acquainted with it. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm being, like, more careful. You put your money where your mouth is a little bit. I'm not being particularly loud. I got this room pretty well sound isolated. It's about being considerate. Maybe if we were all as considerate as me, the world would be a better place. It was a joke. Just need to clarify. I mean, I am considerate. Maybe a little more than I should be. Don't like disappointing people. You know, I don't think... I think the world is a bit of a shithole right now. And I don't think it's necessary to be contributing to that. Again, maybe I'm a little bit too cautious. I'm sure I could speak very normally at this hour. I mean, it's only like midnight. Oh, it's 1 a.m. now. And they probably wouldn't hear me. If I was recording Rim and I was screaming about Sheriff Flaps, you know, gunning down a Muffalo in cold blood, that'd be different. I'm not going to talk about Rimworld on this channel. It's a banned subject. Ah, you're right. It's a banned subject. We're free here. We're free. You're free. This is a safe zone. Left a heart on the floor, then. It's very much a safe zone, my friends. It's just hanging out, playing some games, and just chatting shit. Which I would love to put on the banner. But, again, YouTube probably wouldn't be too happy about it. I don't really care if this is monetized or not. I don't really want them deleting the channel. Really, this channel, I was, like, consigned to just make it an archive. Then I was like, nah, I kind of miss doing silly games and shit. So that's the plan. Shouldn't have picked up the stopwatch. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about Isaac either. Shouldn't have picked up the stopwatch. I might talk about other games we play, like Noita or whatever. SimCity 2000. I can remember how to play that fucking thing. I had that game across, like, 10 floppy disks. I wish I could find it. My parents are coming to visit soon for my birthday. And they're bringing down, like, a load of old games and shit. You remember when PC games used to have big boxes and they were really cool? SimCity 2000 was one of them. I wish I knew where it was. I do have some. I have, like, Sims. Like back when The Sims wasn't just a DLC shovelware type game. They're like Sim... I've got, like, Sim Tower. And there's, like, a 3-pack of a box I put in the other room. So, again, put it on display, right? Oh, fuck. Well, Juicy Sack Sticky Babies. All of these are Rimworld names. Again, I say I wouldn't talk about it, but... Remind me to do that. That I didn't want to pick up, but you know what? We're here now, aren't we? Yeah, it was like a 3-pack of, like, Sim Tower, Sim Ant, which I've never played, and maybe that's something I should go back and play. I feel like I missed some real masterpieces. Go back and play, like, the original Metal Gear or whatever. But that's the thing, I don't know if any of this shit is aged well, or whether it's just going to be a garbage fest. That's why I need some help. I need your input. Lovely person in the comments. Tell me whether or not it's a shit plan. I just want to do, like, content on whatever appeals to me. I'm not... Maybe it won't be video games. Maybe we'll go back and do more weird Duolingo shit. I do enjoy a good language challenge. There was that... What was that fucking game? Tradle or something? That people have been playing recently. You have to guess the country based on its, like, chief economic exports. I will admit, you can only play it once a day because it's like Wordle or whatever. Wouldn't make for a very interesting series. We need, like, a Discord for that shit. That's a good idea. Remind me of that. Daily Challenges Discord. You do, like, a Wordle and a Tradle and a fucking whatever else. General knowledge. That's what I want to do. Let's go back to that. I used to love fucking general knowledge. But now I'm, like, 3 years out of date. A lot has happened in the last 3 years, you got to admit. Don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I did win my university's general knowledge championship. The lovely gift basket with crap like Scrabble in it. Which I think I still have to this day. Scrabble, Monopoly. Had like a bottle of wine, I think. I've got a picture of Paul holding the basket if I ever need to prove that. To clarify. But I'm, like, also not going to put a picture of Paul up on the internet. That'd be weird. Just, like, prove a point. This isn't TikTok. All right, place your bets now. Am I going to win? Because this is like a situation where it could go either way, because this particular character build I've got is shite. If I'd have not taken almond milk, this would be an easy win. Easy A-tier victory. You know what? I'm going to kill purple one last if I can help it, so I can try and get the virus. All right, I fucked it. I'm on the fence about Red Dead. I don't want to make any long-term commitments, because the problem with... Like, we've had this with a few series before, right? Where, even though I'm enjoying a game, I'm kind of burnt out with it. And something like Oblivion is a good example, right? We never did the Shivering Isles in it. And I was so burnt out by Oblivion because we did like 60 episodes. Skyrim is different, because mechanically, Skyrim is a fun game to play. As in, when you've got enough mods and whatever... Wildcat combat, blah, blah, blah. You bash someone with a sword, and it, like, feels pretty good. Whereas Oblivion, the combat is fucking shocking. And, I mean, it's not super bad, but it's not great, is it? It hasn't aged well. Same with, like, Morrowind. Once you kind of got over it, I think you're kind of over it. It's one of those games I maybe go back and play every few years. Whereas, like, Fallout, conversely, like Fallout 3, New Vegas. Dare I say it, Fallout 4? Not so much Fallout 4. They're like good mechanically, you know. Got like, good shooting mechanics. They've aged pretty damn well. Graphically, and the fact that they run like I do hasn't really lent himself well. Like, good luck getting Fallout 3 running in the year of our Lord 2023. It's very spooky. I shouldn't have taken stopwatch. What a crap item. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I get quite bored of games on this channel. I think story-heavy games, maybe like KOTOR, KOTOR 2, maybe I should go back and do. Or did we already play that? No, we didn't. We played KOTOR 1, didn't we? But again, it's like another 40-episode commitment, and after a month. And the thing is, it's not like you come home from work, you play a game for a couple of hours, you're like, hey, that's good, I'll come back to that tomorrow. For me, it's like, I've got to do 30 minutes a day for like a month. That shit's a full-time job, my friend. It's not at all. It's 30 minutes. But you know what I mean, right? It's like, it's a big mental commitment. Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself playing with his toys while his mother watched Christian broadcasts on the television. I don't remember the whole thing. It's been a while. Anyway, there you go. Welcome back. Or goodbye, maybe I should say, because we're done here today. Hey, let me know. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to do. If you got some weird shit to suggest, like, hey, you should have a look at this game on itch.io. It's called, you know, Big Fister 3. It's real fun. Take a look. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'm an open book, and we're good friends here. Let me know what you think. Whatever. Go away. Just go do something more productive with your life.